Okay.
Hey there again, back again. Now we're going to be doing the rotator cuff pathology and biceps tendinopathies. So what we have here is we got 7 tests we're going to be doing, 5 for the rotator cuff and 2 for the biceps tendon. Rotator cuff will be the painful arc drop, near impingement, Hawkins, Gerber's liftoff. We'll also be doing empty can test. Those will be the 5 for the rotator cuff pathology. And we'll be doing Jorgensen's and speeds for biceps tendon pathologies. So first we'll be doing the rotator cuff pathology tests. So what we're going to do here is stand behind the patient. What we're going to do is we're going to instruct them to go into full abduction as slowly as they can. So we're going to have them start here and slowly go all the way up above your head. What we're going to be looking for here is, ideally we'll have them with their shirts off. Just for this, we'll watch them wear a bro tank. We can kind of see the scapulas. So have them go all the way up as much as they can and then slowly go back and return to where they were at. What we're looking for here is just if there's like any abnormal, like they can't control on the way down, anything like that. It's mainly for the supraspinatus part of the rotator cuff. What we can also do is something to the same thing. So you can just start all the way up at the top. On this one, have them go down really slowly. What we can do is at some point we can kind of give a little tap and see if they can control. There's another thing. Biggest thing is if they can't control, pain might be an issue too with the painful arc drop. Here now the NEARS test for impingement. So here we're going to have our hand, that rotator cuff, kind of that up in there, kind of the AC shoulder clavicle area. What we're going to do is we're just going to bring their hand while palpating passively and just go all the way up. What we're looking for here is if they have pain anywhere from about 90 degrees of flexion on up, positive for the rotator cuff pathology again, mainly supraspinatus. Next we'll do the Hawkins test. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm put them into about 90 degrees of abduction, 90 degrees of elbow flexion. What we're going to do here is we're going to bring them into horizontal adduction while continuously doing internal and external rotation. Thing here is pain at the end range of motion, another rotator cuff pathology, mainly again the supraspinatus. We've done those ones. Hawkins, near empty cans, another one we're going to do here. So here we're going to have them go into 90 degrees of flexion, abduction. We're going to put them in internal rotation with their thumb down. What we're going to tell them to do is basically it's a brake test. We're going to stabilize with the glenohumeral humeral head, tell them to let us push you down, apply a downward force, and if they have pain with that or the inability to do that, another positive rotator cuff pathology, again the supraspinatus. Last one is the Gerber's liftoff. So here we're going to do this. We're going to have them put their hand on their back like this. And we're going to, on the lower part of their back, and what we're going to do is instruct them to lift their hand off of their whole arm. Let's try to get their whole arm off. So if they can do that, they're good. If they can't do that, they're positive. That would be the subscapularis part of the rotator cuff. For that same test, we can do the same thing, but we can add pressure to the palm and see if they can resist it. So try to get up. The same kind of thing, resist it. What we don't want is them to bend forward. So just use their rotator cuff for that. So those are the 5 for rotator cuff. Now the 2 for biceps tendon. So first is Jorgensen's. So here we're going to palpate the bicipital groove, go 90 degrees of elbow flexion, start them in neutral position. We're going to hold up the forearm while palpating here at the wrist, while palpating at the bicipital groove. We're going to instruct the patient to do elbow flexion while we externally rotate and try to move them into supination, and they have to do all that but resist it. So they're going to try to do an elbow or a flexion at the elbow while we externally rotate and supinate, and they have to resist that while performing the flexion. So you know what I'm talking about?
Not at all.
So try to do a bicep curl. So start back where you were though. Try to do that and then try to resist me pulling you out and here. So try to pull yourself back in and this way. Okay? All right, start. Okay, so if he can do that, he's fine. If if they had pain with any of those motions, or we hear like in the bicipital groove or like a snapping, that could be the biceps tendon pathology. Another thing that could be a positive for that would be a slap lesion. But that'd be pain in the superior part of the shoulder, would be slap lesion. Last one, speeds. So here again, palpating the bicipital groove. Start them in an anatomical position so have your hand like this. So we're gonna resist them while they go through full flexion. We're just gonna be palpating, so go through flexion, so the arm up. So palpating, again, looking for pain or anything in that bicipital groove. That if they are positive for that, they have a biceps tendon pathology. So those are the tests for rotator cuff and biceps tendon.